Hello, everyone, and welcome to my presentation on the recent cybersecurity attack on the Internet Archive. My name is Salah Al Talib, and my GitHub name is Salah-Al Talib with the SNA in uppercase, rest in lowercase. My edX username is in all lowercase Salah underscore Hani underscore Talib, and I'm currently based in London. This video is being recorded on the 2nd of December 2024. And in this presentation, I'll walk you through what happened, how exactly the breach occurred, and its implications on privacy and security. We'll also explore key cybersecurity concepts in simpler terms so that even those who aren't familiar with the field can follow along. Now, what exactly is the Internet Archive? The Internet Archive is a non-profit organization and a public charity and a non-governmental organization founded by Brewster Kahle in 1996, aiming to preserve digital history. You probably heard of their Wayback Machine, which allows people to view old versions of websites. This platform is vital for legal evidence, academic research, and preserving human knowledge. However, being a digital library comes with some risks, and recently, the Internet Archive fell victim to a serious data breach. Now, what exactly happened? The October 2024 attack began with a DDoS attack claimed by the hacker group SM Black Meta on X. While this group did take credit for the denial of service that brought down the website, the later data breach appeared to have been initiated by a different actor because no one has claimed the responsibility for this attack so far. This breach led to the theft of data from 31 million users. The hacker group also inserted a message in JavaScript bragging about stealing data from 31 million users, which was later verified by HIBP. The group sent replies to removal requests by getting a Zendesk token with permissions to access 800,000 support tickets sent to info@archive.org since 2018. Um, how did the attack exactly happen? So, the technical details behind this breach are alarming. The hackers first found an exposed GitLab configuration file on one of the Internet Archive's development servers. This file contained an authentication token, which they used to download the organization's source code. Unfortunately, the source code contained even more credentials, including a database management system access. Despite warnings about the GitLab authentication token being exposed since December of 2022, the Internet Archive did not rotate these tokens, meaning the hackers had continued access for weeks, compromising the system further. Now, let's simplify some of the key cybersecurity terms. So, a GitLab token acts like a digital key that gives access to internal systems. A best practice, which was not followed here, is API key rotation, meaning regularly updating these keys to prevent unauthorized access. A DDoS attack floods a site with fake traffic to overwhelm it, and a data breach is when sensitive information is accessed without permission. Now, what was exactly the impact of this hack? So the effects of this hack were very wide-reaching. The stolen data included email addresses, screen names, password change timestamps, bcrypt hashed passwords, and personal identification details from those requesting page removals from the Wayback Machine. Because to prove that you are the owner of a website, you had to provide some personal identification details. And users are now at risk of credential stuffing, which is where attackers try the same password across multiple different websites because, let's be frank, most people use the exact same password on many websites, so credential stuffing will most likely work on many people that they try on. And the Internet Archive services, including the infamous Wayback Machine, were down for several days, causing a bit of a global disruption. However, the website was later returned in slowly with simple iterations, and then they went back to the actual website. Now, what lessons do we learn from this breach? The breach is a reminder of how critical proper cybersecurity practices are, and organizations must regularly rotate API keys to prevent ongoing access. And This even allows it so that even if someone finds an API key, most likely by the time it took them to actually get that API key, the keys have already been rotated. So what they did was a waste of time. And strong encryption and password management should be standard, especially, maybe using a password manager to help store all of your passwords with one very strong password that hopefully no one will have access to. And proactive vulnerability checks are also very much necessary to find any weak points in your own system before some malicious actor does and uses that information for their own benefit. And even nonprofits like the Internet Archive must prioritize cybersecurity investments, even if they don't have that much funding, in order to safeguard their systems and data. Because most of the time, these nonprofits, like the Internet Archive, hold very, very valuable information that might be very detrimental to its users if this data is leaked anywhere. Now, in conclusion, the Internet Archive hack is a wake up call for any organizations, whether they are nonprofit, non government, or governmental organizations. Any organization has to take precautions. It shows that no matter the size or mission of an organization, cybersecurity must be taken seriously because there could always be a threat actor lurking, waiting to find some vulnerability so that they can exploit it and maybe just make a name them for themselves. They don't necessarily need to obtain valuable information and use it in some other way. Maybe they just want to make a name for themselves so that they can be hired by someone else and continue exploiting other vulnerabilities and acting maliciously. And safeguarding digital history for future generations requires very robust security practices, and this breach is a reminder of just how vulnerable we can all be if we don't take proper action, regardless of what we're doing or who we are. And thank you for listening.